So let's talk Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen. So this recent picture came up from them from a few days ago at, I think it was like a art gallery or something. And we see Mary-Kate in the leopard coat and Ashley's in kind of like a funky outfit with some like interesting sunglasses. And I feel like I've been like thinking about this for a while. We see the Olsen twins so rarely out and about. It's almost like it's a once in a blue moon kind of like spotting, you know? They're so elusive for media. Like we just don't see them. We didn't see them at the most recent show. And I just think it's so interesting when we actually get to see their style versus the Rose style, because I think they're so synonymous, obviously, with their brand, even though they have tried really hard to not be associated with their brand. I feel like with the recent popularity of the Row, it has just like catapulted them and they're kind of like back into the everyday talk of us. And so it's just kind of hard to, you know, not think of them and think just that, you know, the Row is their personal style, because that's all we're seeing regularly. And obviously they're the creative director, so they're, you know, it is a huge part of their style. But when I saw these pictures, it just like reminded me that their personal style definitely goes beyond what the Row is. You know, the Row is modern, tailored, but it also has this like fluidity to their clothes. And although Mary-Kate and Ashley have that, I think what we start to see, especially with Mary-Kate, is that, you know, they still have a little bit of that boho to them that they used to have in like the early 2000s, that kind of like hippie, vintage, like very undone, very kind of like anti the Row. I feel like the Row is like always very put together and polished, and I think that their personal style is a lot more like undone and kind of funky, you know, in a way that they're really funky. So basically, I'd love to know your thoughts on just like, when you think of the Row, do you automatically think Mary-Kate and Ashley style? Do you feel like part of the reason you love the Row is because of Mary-Kate and Ashley? Like, I mean, I feel like all millennials were obsessed with them growing up. So is that a huge part of why the Row is so popular, especially with, you know, millennials? Like, we love Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen, and, you know, we always wanted to be them growing up. So I feel like that little kid in us is still like very into them and into what they do and interested. And I think that it plays into like how little we see them. But when you see pictures of them and you see that their style, does that affect how you feel like you see the Row as a brand or as them? Like, what do you think? I would love to know your thoughts. Because, you know, personally, like, to each their own, like, that is their style. And I feel like they've always been very true to their style. But yeah, it's just interesting. I feel like when we see them, it's like, oh yeah, wait, their style isn't like just the Row. It is definitely like their own twist on everything. And although they wear a ton of their own clothes, it's just interesting to see like how they put things together and like the kind of funky, unusual style choices that they make versus what they put out with the Row, which is like usually just a lot more like polished. So I would love to hear your thoughts on all of this. I don't know. I've been thinking about it, and yeah, it's a like interesting thing to think about. So let me know your thoughts in the comments.